What's going on, everyone? It's awesome to have you back here for another video today. Just a short and sweet video. I want to show you the essential things that I keep in my everyday photography backpack. Before we get down to it, let's just talk about why I have what I have. Now, I typically on my feet, I'm walking, hiking, doing something, so weight is a major concern of mine. However, when I'm out in the field and I'm doing photography or even videography, I want to make sure everything is organized and that I have the gear that I need. The gear I carry in my bag is something that I'm always adjusting. Sometimes I'll add something, sometimes I'll take something out. However, I want to show you the base loadout that I take on basically all of my outings. And so I start with the Shimoda 30-liter Explore More backpack. Incredible backpack. I absolutely love this backpack. I've done a video on it. Go check that out if you haven't seen it already. But the backpack comes in at 4.8 pounds. It has a space for a laptop. It has a large front pouch, side panel access, which is really cool. Most backpacks don't have this, or if they do have it, it's not meant for the camera. But Shimoda makes it so that you do have access to your camera. You also have camera access through the back panel, which I really like. Now, this isn't something unique to Shimoda. A lot of other different manufacturers have come up with the same type of design, but it's nice when you strap on the waist belt, you can basically slide your backpack from your back to your chest and lay it down almost like a table. I think the thing I like most about the Shimoda backpack is the fact that it's simple. There's not 1,500 pockets so that I forgot where I put everything. It's simple, however, it's thorough. I've been using this pack for a while now, a little more than a year, and it shows little to no signs of wear. So it's durable, water resistant. I love this green they have going on here, but they also offer black. The colors are phenomenal. I wasn't a big fan of their original colors, but the colors that they're offering now, they're absolutely awesome. Depending on where you get the backpack from, it's going to set you back about $380 or so. I know that sounds expensive, but trust me when I tell you, you're going to get your money's worth out of this bag. The next thing I'll show you is my tripod, because a tripod is, especially a landscape photographer, it's one of the primary tools. And I take my tripod everywhere. Even if I know I'm not going to use it, I take it just in case. Now, I've learned that you need to pay a little more for your tripod because you're going to get what you pay for. I went ahead and purchased the three-legged thing, Legends Ray carbon fiber tripod system. There's several color options. I've done a lot of research on tripods over the years, and it always comes down to the ruggedness versus the weight. You want a tripod that's going to be strong enough to do what you want and hold up without having to repair it all the time. You also don't want it to be heavy because most of the time it's on your back. The things I love about this tripod, I love the grips. They're big enough that, even if you have gloves on, you can twist them easily. There's a max height of just over 50 inches, a minimum height of just over 4 inches. The legs are detachable. And here's a big thing, the folded length is just over 13 inches. But with 5 leg sections and 2 column sections, you have lots of range. And the thing I really like about this tripod is it's really durable. The carbon fiber and the other materials they made it out of are absolutely phenomenal. At $430, a lot of you guys are like, whoa, I don't want anything to do with it. However, if you're doing photography on a regular basis and you're a landscape photographer, you have to have something similar to this, if not this tripod, because it's so important to getting great results. Now, with image stabilization on most cameras nowadays, it's not as important as it used to be in the past, but trust me when I tell you, if you want those super sharp photos, you really need a great tripod. The Pro lever is an absolute wonderful ball head. It's 3.5 inches tall, it's 0.72 pounds, 360-degree range, but it's reliable. And that quick release plate, that lever plate, oh my gosh, it is so wonderful. I've tried a lot of quick release plates. This is by far the best. Pan knob, ball tension, all your typical stuff. Just a wonderful piece of equipment. If you follow my channel at all, you'll know that my main camera is the Canon R5. And that is the camera that I carry on a daily basis, on a regular basis. I absolutely just love this camera. I couldn't wait for it to come out. I bought it the day it was announced or released, and I've never regretted it since. At 45 megapixels, the full frame CMOS sensor and the Digic X image processor are absolutely stunning. The camera is capable of doing 8K 30 frames per second. However, I never use that. It's just computers and things aren't made to really handle that kind of footage right now. And you know, I'm super happy with just great 4K, and this camera puts out a great 4K up to 120 frames per second. I mentioned image stabilization a while ago, and this was a breakout feature for the Canon R system. They started including in-camera body stabilization in the Canon R5 after a software update. Has a really good product now that can compete with all of its major competitors. Canon's known for the incredible flip out screen. I absolutely love the flip out screen, no matter whether it's pictures or video. It just allows you a lot of flexibility. The camera's durable and weather resistant. It's one of the best options for those of you that do both photo and video like myself. That's a hard piece of equipment to find, something that excels in both areas. Most products are great at one and okay at the other. However, the Canon R5 is great at both. It's Canon. It works. It does what you expect it to do. And for that, I love the reliability. I love the versatility. It's an absolutely phenomenal camera. So now that we have the Canon R5 covered, it's time to look at what I'm strapping onto the Canon R5. And my primary lens is the Canon RF 24-105. This is an f4 lens with image stabilization at $1,300. This is by far the most versatile lens that I have. It's tack sharp. It covers a majority of the focus lengths I'm looking for. It's got 5 stops of image stabilization in case I don't have my tripod with me for one reason or another. It comes in at 1.54 pounds, and for me that's very important because, you know, it's typically on my back. My secondary lens is the Canon RF 70-200 f2.8. At $2,800, it's expensive, I'm not gonna lie to you. But I've had such success with that focal range, 70-200 in the past. I just couldn't go out and shoot without that focal range. And you can get it, I think, in the f4 range, but the f2.8 is so sharp and beautiful. The results are absolutely stunning. Even at 200 millimeters, this lens is just putting out crazy awesome results. This is my favorite lens for still photography. Comes in at 2.35 pounds. And it's 5.75 inches long with a 77 millimeter filter size, which is phenomenal because it matches the 24-105. I can't tell you how awesome it is to have the same filter size across the lenses that I use. Let's be honest, these filters, they're not cheap anymore. And if you don't want to strap a crappy filter onto an expensive lens, you're just, you know, you're shooting yourself in the foot. If I was forced to take one lens on my landscape photography outings, it would be this one, the 70-200. Absolutely love this lens. However, it's not ideal for videography, so that's why I keep the 24-105 strapped to the camera pretty much at all times. The third lens that I keep is the Canon RF 100-500 f4.5. At $2,900, another expensive lens. Canon is raking in the money with these things, but they're putting out lenses that have absolutely phenomenal quality to them, and they're just so reliable. At 3 pounds and over 8 inches long, it's not a lens that you want to carry on your back for any extended hikes or walks. I switch this lens out for the Canon RF 15-35 sometimes, or I only carry 2 lenses. This lens allows you to get shots that a lot of people will never have access to because of the focal range. And even at 500 millimeters, this lens produces excellent results. I will say the lens is not the best for low light, but it really wasn't designed for that. So you just have to be careful, you know, to make sure that you take the appropriate lens according to whatever outing that you're going on. Next item is my Peter McKinnon Nomadic Lens Filter Case. Love this case. It keeps everything nice, neat, and organized, and it just has the feel of professionalism. Great product. Inside the lens case, I keep my ND filters, but I keep a polarizer on each lens at all times. On my RF 100-500, I keep a 77 millimeter B&W circular polarizer, $110. I've found that somewhere between $75 and $100 is a pretty decent lens filter. I keep circular polarizers on every lens because I love the fact that they just kind of amplify the colors and they get rid of that glare or reflection a little bit. And I just get much better results when I keep the circular polarizer on the lens. So on my 24-105, I keep a Polar Pro quartz line circular polarizer at $120. And then on the RF 70-200, I keep a Lens Skins polarizer, $75. Inside of my lens case, I keep a 77mm Tiffin variable stop, 2 to 8 stops, runs about $85. And the reason for this is because you may be shooting waterfalls or something where you need to reduce the light and you don't know how much. And so I like to have that variable lens filter in my toolbox. I also keep a 77 Ultra Optics Ultra Definition 8-stop filter, and this way I can combine the two if I'm in a really bright scene, or I can use one or the other, or I can keep one on one lens and another on a different lens if I'm going between lenses on the same scene. It just kind of helps me have options and versatility. Now in my bag, I also keep the Sennheiser MKE 200 Ultra Compact microphone. And the reason for that is I'm doing video often. And so I like to have a great microphone, and it is an absolutely phenomenal microphone. It has great sound. It's simple to use and it just works. And that's, for me, that's really what it's all about, is I just want my stuff to work. I don't want to have to fight it. You know, I'd rather be using my creativity to find photos and videos rather than fighting with my gear. Inside of my R5, I keep a 512 gigabyte, 300 megabytes per second, 250 megabytes per second write ProGrade SD card. And yeah, it definitely could be considered, you know, extreme as far as putting that much money into such, you know, an SD card. However, everything writes to that card. And if I'm doing a bunch of video and photo at the same time, you'd be surprised at how much memory space you can take up pretty quick. So I went ahead, spent the extra money. I got the 512, and to be honest, I've never looked back since. I have had no issues where I have to flip out cards. If you've ever had to flip out cards when it's like 5 degrees outside and snowing or raining at, you know, in the low 30s, it's painful at times. So I don't like to have to mess with the card. I like to know that whatever I'm going to record, there's space for it. And when I get it back to the computer, it's going to be there, it's going to be right, and there's not going to be any problems. I keep a Sony Tough CFexpress card in the Canon R5 as well. It's 256 gigabytes. It was a $300 Express card. To be honest, this was overkill. I didn't need that much because it only writes to the SD card, and you have to go in and manually change it for it to record to the CFexpress. Now, if I was doing like 8K or something like that, I would definitely use the CFexpress. However, the SD card's more than enough to do all the 4K and photos that I'm doing. I also keep a Peak Design camera strap in this cool color, the sage green. It's a $60 item. It just, you know, sometimes it's nice to have a strap and just keep your camera right there on your chest. I've got many other ways that I carry my camera, but sometimes you just like the old-fashioned strap. And this is a comfortable strap. It gets the job done. I like the little connectors that just kind of slip and go, and when you want to take it off, you just push them in, pull it, and then pull the little the piece out, and you're done. You don't have to sit there and fight with putting the strap on and off the camera. Probably the newest part of my bag is the BGR10 Canon BGR10 battery grip. And this allows me to put an extra battery as well as have some different controls on the camera. And for me, that's it's big. I'm not gonna lie to you. And if I'm going on a long hike or something where I'm gonna be on my feet a lot, probably gonna take this out and just take the extra battery. However, you know, when I'm not going too far, I know that, you know, maybe I'm riding a scooter or, you know, whatever I'm doing. If I know I'm not going to be exerting a lot of effort on my feet getting all this gear around, then I like to have my battery grip, so I don't have to worry about battery. And with two batteries inside the Canon R5, I mean, I'm good all day long. I really hope you guys got something out of this video. It's great to see what others carry on an everyday basis, you know, and I really enjoy videos like that. I hope you do too. It inspires the thought about your own gear. Some of the best gear that I use is because I happen to see it on someone else's, you know, platform, their channel, their page or whatever. And it just kind of inspires an idea. And I think that's a wonderful part of gear. Gear is very important to producing great results. And that's why I wanted to show you what I have in my everyday photography backpack. It really helps the channel if you drop a like down below if you enjoyed it, share it with your family, your friends, on your social media walls. But even more importantly, drop a comment down below. Tell us what the #1 piece of gear is in your bag. I hope you guys have an awesome week, and I can't wait to see you on the next episode.